edema, which means accumulation of fluid in interstitial spaces. In the last lecture, we have already discussed about the basics of edema, while in this particular video, we will be discussing about two aspects of edema, that is, the types of edema and the types of edematous fluid. Heading on with the first topic, that is the types of edema. On the basis of what kind of organ and what part of the body is impacted by edema, edema can be classified into two types. First one is generalized edema and second one is localized edema. In generalized edema, there is involvement of an entire body, while in localized edema, there is only involvement of a particular part or an organ of a body. For example, Anasarca is an example of generalized edema. Anasarca is defined as severe generalized edema with widespread subcutaneous tissue swelling that is present throughout the body. When I say the word Anasarca, this particular word is made up of two specific portions. Ana means throughout and sarc means flesh. For instance, the fetal anasarca. Just look at the picture that has been shown, which clearly indicates the accumulation of fluid happening throughout the body. Whereas in localized edema, excessive accumulation of fluid takes place in various parts of the body or body cavities. Heading forward with the examples of localized edema, first one is hydrothorax or hydropleura, which means accumulation of fluid in pleural cavity. Another example could be Hydroperitoneum, commonly known as Ascites, where the accumulation of fluid takes place in peritoneal cavity. Another example, Hydropericardium, where accumulation of fluid takes place in pericardial space. Next is Hydrocephalus, which means collection of fluid in the ventricles of the brain. Another example is Hydrocele, that is accumulation of fluid in tunica vaginalis, layer of testicles. Some more examples of localized edema are periorbital edema, which is fluid accumulation around eyes, exactly shown in the picture. Next is pulmonary edema, which means fluid is collected inside the lungs in the alveoli. Another interesting edema is spitting edema, where if the finger pressure is applied over edematous subcutaneous tissue, it displaces the underlying interstitial fluid and leaves a finger-shaped depression, exactly shown in the picture. This is interesting, right? Now, heading on with the second topic, that is the types of edematous fluid. The first one is transudate and the second one is exudate. Now listen carefully. If the edematous fluid is non-inflammatory and is low in protein content with a specific gravity of less than 1.012 and is clear in appearance, then this particular type of edematous fluid is known as transudate. And if the edematous fluid is inflammatory, is rich in protein with specific gravity more than 1.020 and cloudy in appearance, that particular fluid will be termed as exudate. Now, the next topic which we will be dealing and covering in next video is the reasons for edema. First one, the increased hydrostatic pressure or increased intravascular pressure. Second reason could be decreased plasma colloidal osmotic pressure. Third is obstructed lymphatic drainage. Fourth is increased vascular permeability. And fifth is sodium and water retention. Now, the best part is we'll be dealing about all these above mentioned reasons in detail in next videos. So just hit the subscribe button and Radhe Radhe.